I've often heard from various sources the idea that even though a truly saved person cannot lose his or her salvation by accident, they can reject it by choice. According to the Society of Evangelical Arminians website, this is a common belief of many Arminians. Salvation is gained by faith in Jesus, it is kept by faith in Jesus, and the net result is salvation cannot be lost, but it can be forfeited. In this view, losing salvation is a possibility, but it only comes about by a deliberate choice and doesn't happen by accident. It must be walked away from. If you then point out that in John 20, verses 28 and 29, Jesus states that no man can pluck his sheep out of his hand nor out of his Father's hand, which I envision as something like this. They respond with, but the saved person can choose to step out of their hands. This is taking the statement out of context. If you just go back a sentence or two, this possibility is refuted. John 10:28 states, "And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish." The English word never itself means not at any time. His sheep will never perish. However, the Greek is much stronger. The one English word never is actually translated from 5 Greek words. The first 2 words are ou and me, and they both mean not. A Greek sentence or clause can be negated by one of 2 words, ou or me, depending on whether it is in the indicative or subjunctive mood. However, unlike English, where 2 negatives cancel each other out, making a positive, a double negative in Greek strengthens the negation exponentially. So ume doesn't just mean not, it means absolutely not. The next 3 words are a phrase, eis ton iona, which is literally in the age and means forever. So altogether it means absolutely not forever. This is pretty definite by itself, but there's more. The Greek word translated perish is apollontai, which means to destroy, perish, or die, and is in the subjunctive mood. The subjunctive mood is the mood of possibility. It doesn't describe what is, but what may or might be. There is a possibility that something will occur. I may call you tomorrow, or I might go on vacation next week. So in this case, apollontai by itself means the possibility of being destroyed. By negating this statement in Greek, it makes it so that there is no possibility of something occurring. It's not possible. In William Mounce's Basics of Biblical Greek Grammar, Boost M. Fanning writes, "It would have been enough to have ou with a future indicative verb here, but Jesus is more emphatic. The subjunctive combination strongly denies even the possibility that any of Jesus' sheep would perish. They will certainly not perish. They will by no means perish, is the sense of Jesus' assertion. This is reinforced by the addition of the phrase eis ton iona, forever. Jesus' emphatic promise is the bedrock of assurance and godly motivation for every one of his sheep. Also, in Daniel Wallace's book, Greek Grammar Beyond the Basics, he writes, "One might think that the negative with the subjunctive could not be as strong as the negative with the indicative. However, while ou plus the indicative denies a certainty, ou me and the subjunctive denies a potentiality. The negative is not weaker, rather the affirmation that is being negatived is less firm with the subjunctive. Ou me rules out even the idea as being a possibility. Ou me is the most decisive way of negativing something in the future. The conclusion is clear. It is impossible for the genuinely saved believer to ever lose or even choose to forfeit their salvation, unless you think Jesus is being deceptive. I know that those who believe that you can forfeit your salvation by choice will be saying, but what about this passage? What about that passage? I plan on addressing the whatabouts in future videos, but there is a rule in interpreting Scripture, and that is to let Scripture interpret Scripture. An aspect of this is that you understand the more difficult to determine passage through the clear passages, and not the other way around. Usually, if a hard to understand passage seems to contradict the clear passages, it is a problem with our understanding or interpretation of the hard to understand passages, which requires further examination.